I'm Eric Luskin from American Public Television. In our Doc Martin Behind the Scenes podcast number 4, we sit down for a conversation with series producer Philippa Braithwaite. We spoke in the edit suite during the filming of Series 6 back in June 2013. I started by asking how audiences outside the UK, especially America, have been reacting to Doc Martin.
It's really interesting, the different countries and how the fan base is growing and how the fans react to it. And I don't know whether it's because the American fan base that we have whether they just have a different way of viewing and a different way of appreciating the viewing, or whether they just genuinely write to all the shows that they love, but we don't tend to get those kind of letters from anywhere else. And they are long, long letters just dissecting each episode and seeing things in it that we kind of go, oh, yes, that's great, you've picked up on that, or things I didn't even know I thought were there. But really interesting, erudite letters that are very, very flattering to get, actually. Because we're working so hard on it, as you can see, all year, every year we're working on it, whether we've got a down year or not. So it's really nice to be appreciated. And we tend to have a very ardent fan base in America. Over the last year, that has grown and grown. It's a very different experience, the American fans, for us.
How much of what they're noticing and commenting on is deliberate in an artistic sense, and how much of it is just sort of happenstance?
I'd say about 80% of what they're commenting on is deliberate. And it's really, really great for us when they pick up on something that we've tried to seed through subtly. And then about 20% is just happenstance, I would say. So it's interesting. We love getting the letters and we love getting the feedback.
The way Doc Martin interacts with people suggests that he may have some sort of underlying condition. Is it Asperger's?
We know, and we've always known that he's borderline Asperger's. We've never said it. I think there was one character who alluded to it, who was a child psychiatrist. But the minute we say that and we put that on camera, it's almost too much and it's too big a statement. And he would never think that he has that. But I think it is obvious that he does have some kind of social issues going on, whether it's labelled or not. So, yeah, he's not normal.
Another thing that people seem to think is that there are clues dropped in as to why he has this aloof nature.
We lay clues all the way through, and sometimes it's just for us, and sometimes people do pick up on it. I don't think the British fans pick up on it as much as the American fans, so we love it when people do. But we had one funny letter from somebody who said that there was a bunch of onions in shot behind the dock once, and was it a metaphor for peeling the layers away for his character? And I was reading it going, oh my God, is it? No, the art department just put some onions behind him.
We spent some time talking about the way each series is developed.
About a year before we go into pre-production, I assemble the team of writers that we want to get on the next series. We have 2 main writers and we choose a few new ones each year. We all get together in a room for about 3 days and we try and work out series arc for the Doc and Louisa, series arc for all the characters, and what new characters we want to bring in. So we'll spend a couple of days doing that. Then we get our medical advisor in and we try and get him to come up with some new, unusual stories and real illnesses. And then we try and weave in those strands into our character arcs. And it's an ongoing process, but those 3 days are quite important. And then the writers go off and spend a couple of months coming up with very long treatments for each episode. And we're constantly evolving those throughout the year. And they can go as far as writing 3 drafts and we think a story's not working and we junk it at the last minute and start again. So we are kind of constantly micromanaging, myself and Mark Crowdy, the executive producer, constantly micromanaging that process. We try and lead audiences somewhere each series, and for us and for our interest and for the actors' interest, we try and kind of build up to a big finish and a big arc. And part of that this year has been, is it nature, is it nurture? If it's nurture, what caused it? So we are exploring that for the 6th series.
Doc Martin is broadcast in the U.S. on public television. Check your local listings. Doc Martin DVDs are available at retail.